Good morning. Let me try that again. Good morning. Good morning. It's Wednesday, September 21st, 2021. My name is Terry Morgan. We are here to practice Baguazhang. We have the 8 palm changes, that's Bagua, and we're working on the pattern set for the earlier heaven pattern. We've got palm changes 1 and 2 this morning. I'm taking it real slow at the beginning. I'm going to speed it up. I am going to speed it up. So just to pay attention to the position of each of the palm changes as well as the fundamentals for each of the palm changes. I have my trusty rug here with with the pattern. All right, there are 8 flowers around the outside of the circle, and there's a flower in the center. That is fundamentally what the Bagua looks like. The Bagua picture is a yin-yang symbol in the middle, and the 8 gua, the 8 trigrams around the outside. Each of the trigrams has a particular position, and we use those positions in the earlier heaven pattern. So there's earlier heaven pattern, there's a later heaven pattern. The pattern we're working is the earlier heaven pattern. Each of those positions corresponds to a direction and a location. So position 1 is here. This is Chen, heaven, in the south. Stand in the south facing north. I'm literally not standing in the south right now. In a different room I would be. I'm not. But that direction is important for how we practice and how we execute the palm changes. Stand in the south, face, this is 1. Stand in the south, face the north, begin. That instruction is very common in traditional Chinese martial arts because we're not facing the wall, we're outside, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 7, 6, 5, and back to 1. How we make the circle, how we change through, excuse me, how we change through the individual palm changes, that is what we're working on this morning. All right, basic stretch, feet about shoulder width apart, stand straight, shoulders down, pull up through the crown of the head. Oh, pull up through the center and hands circle to the front, and back around to both sides. Up along the center line, reach out, bend the knees, roll up through the back, extend, one more time, and elbows drop down, keep going, follow the fingertips down. One more time. Roll down through the back and arch as you come up. Elbows drop down, wrists, fingertips. Hands return to your sides. Don't stop. We're going side to side. I'm going to turn to my right. You're going to turn to your left. Big circle. And again. Use the waist and the hips. Keep the knees bent. One more time. And come to center. Other side. Big circle. One more time. Come center. Elbows drop down. Wrists, fingertips, hands return to your sides. A little bit of a leg stretch this morning. Not too much. Remember, don't push into the knee. Push into your heel. Open the back knee. It's bent. It's not straight. Bend the knee. Straight down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, and sink more. And change the other leg. Ready? And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Sink. Keep going. And come on back up. All right. The leg work that we need for Bagua is supported by this stretch. The ability to turn as we're walking the circle depends in part on that connection through the lower body, so that as we turn, there's stability on the bottom, flexibility at the top, and that the whole body works together. That full body thing. All right. I have mentioned this week that I have been beating up considerably on the pattern and the first 2 palm changes. We're going to continue that today. Next week, I'm going to start speeding things up a little bit. We'll have palm changes 1 through 4 on the circle. As we progress, the effort changes. Okay? So, palm change 1, all the way around, come back, change, and go the other way. Palm change 2, all the way around, change, go back the other way. Salute to the center. Relax the breath, relax through the back, breathe, breathe in, breathe out, sink, turn, open, walk the circle. Eight. Change. Left side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Change. Right hand to the center. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Palm change 2. Other side. Palm change 2. Turn, split, and come around again. And close. Alright. Palm change 1, palm change 2. Both sides. As we walk the circle, we need to pay attention to which palm change we're doing, where we're supposed to stop, where we actually stop, and where that turn should be. Okay? So, just now, I said, start here. This is chin, heaven. Start at 1. Go all the way around. come back to where we started, turn around, go back the other way. This time, I'm going to use the pattern. I'm going to take it slow, starting at 1. Palm change 1 is at 6. Over here. This is 1. This is 5, 6, 7, 8. At 6, we change for palm change 1. I know I've said this multiple times. I must probably say it a couple more times again. All right. All of the other palm changes happen at their corresponding number. There are 2 steps in between. It's not a... And let me say it this way, that's not a prescriptive, that's not Terry says there has to be 2 steps, that's in fact what you have to do in order to execute the turn. That's the only way it happens. So, you want to take one big step to get there, you're not going to be on the right foot. You're going to be on the left foot. Seriously. I'm on my left foot. What am I going to do? I have to be on my right foot to bring the left around to do the turn. That basic logic for how we move isn't optional. It's physically impossible to do this turn to the right if your left foot is front. You can't. You can't. Okay? That requirement is something that we need to pay attention to. Palm change 1. This is 2. We come back to palm to number 2. Palm change 2. Salute to the center. Ready? Not too fast. Turn. Open. 1, 2. And turn. Close. Step out to the other side. 1, 2. Close. Palm change 2. And back to center. Alright, relax for a second. Why am I beating up on this? Why am I still pounding on this particular move? Just these 2, and I'm checking the screen over here to see what I got going on. It's fine today, at least so far. Everything's looked good. The way that we move makes a difference in all of the other palm changes. Okay, that's why I'm beating up on this right now. Because as we start next week, I'm going to talk about this in a minute. As we start next week, I am going to speed things up a little bit. So, just watch for a second. Palm changes 1 through 4. We're going to work on this next week with the idea that each palm change, that's why I'm taking it really slow right now, because it's going to get faster. Each palm change at the appropriate place to the other side. So, I'm here, open left, right to the center. 1, 2, right side change. Come back over here, left side change. Come around, right? Palm change 3, over here, right side, turn around, turn around. As I come back around, I'm going to come back to palm change 4 here. Okay? That, now, I was going to show that, but I'm going to work on it. We're going to work on that next week. Okay? So palm changes 3 and 4, we're going to really work on next week. Right now, palm changes 1 and 2. Okay? I don't want to get too far ahead here. The thought process that we want to pay attention to in this practice is that sense of step, turn, step, turn, step, step, turn. Okay? So as I come out, step, step, turn. Back to that. I'm here facing the center. Turn, step, step, turn. Right? And I come back, I come out of it, step, step, turn. That pattern continues for most of, not all of, most of the palm changes. We should, not necessarily, we should end up in a position such that we take 2 more steps, with the exception of palm change 2, which I have to go all the way around to get back to 3. We're not walking the circle so much as we are putting ourselves in the correct position on the circle and on the foot to execute the turn. Which side? Left side, right side. This is, and I'm going to say this again, this is something that is not easy. It's not easy in person. Not everybody can see the circle. That orientation in space, not everybody has that. It has to be learned. I had to learn it. We have to learn that. As we're walking the circle, the changes from one side to another and the changes as we're going around are hard to see. What did you do just there? What did you do over there? Because you turned around and you couldn't, right? Even in person, it's difficult. For right now, I'm going to turn around so that I'm going to pretend that over here is heaven and earth is over there. So instead of facing the camera, I'm going to be facing away from the camera. Whether or not this helps, I'm not sure yet. I'm going to have to take a look at it and see. I expect that it might, because in one part, while I'm facing the camera, you can see what I'm doing from that perspective. If I turn around and go the other way, you're going to see me from a different perspective. And that should help to understand what's going on from the other side. All right. I'm going to stand here and I'm going to say that this is north, this is south. I'm standing in the south and I'm facing north. 6 is over here. 3 is over here. This is 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Feet together, stand straight. Salute to the center. Breathe in. Breathe out. Sink. Turn. Open to the right. 1, 2. Turn. First palm change. Open to the left. 1, 2. Second palm change. And open to the right. Relax. We're going to do it again. Pay attention to the coordination for each of the turns. Not so much within the turn itself, but as you get it started. Pay attention to that coordination. Feet together, stand straight. Pull up through the crown of the head. Salute to the center. Sink, turn, open. 1, 2, change. Where do I need to go? 1, 2, start. There it is. All right, relax for a second. This 1, 2, where do I go? Right? If I'm not ready, we're going to do it again. If I'm not ready to put my foot down where I'm going, I can't make the turn. Okay? Yep. Close. Open. On the left side, palm change 2. Step 1, 2. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I've stepped back. I'm not ready. I can't do it. One, 2. Grip. Hold the floor. Now you can pull yourself around. That grab the floor with your toes. Gives you the downward pressure that you need to spin. If you're not well rooted, that downward pressure, that rooting, so grab the floor with your toes, sink into the heel, put the foot down. If you don't, you can't spin. The spin comes up from the bottom to turn the body. Place the foot. Feet together, stand straight. Salute to the center. Ready, and sink, open. Remember to set the foot. 1, 2. Open. 1, 2. All right. That little bit too much effort there, right? That emphasis needs to be more subtle. And I will say this about all of the internal arts. The way that we practice, the way that we use the energy is subtle. It's not overt. It's not in large part, in many ways, there are things that are just not visible. Let me show you. What I just did had some emphasis. I'm going to do that again with the emphasis. With the emphasis. Ready, and go. 1, 2. Come around. It's okay. It's correct. But it's stiff. It was stiff. Too much muscle. Too much physical effort. Not nearly enough internal effort. Feet together, stand straight. More internal work this time. Relax. Pull up. Breathe. Not nearly as hard. That outside hardness, not the second time. That second one is more of what we want. We need to understand, and I've emphasized this before, we need to understand that this is a martial art. This is not wave your hands and go foo, 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 foo. Right? I can wave my hands and go foo, 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 and not learn a darn thing. No, this is not what we're doing here. This split has purpose. It does. So does this. And this. That idea behind comes from here. It's not from here. It's not from here. It's here. And the idea is more to go through than to stop at a particular point. So, here, where am I here? I need to pick a spot. I turned around a couple of times and now I don't know where I am. Left side. I'm coming around this way. This goes through. This blocks. I could do this. I could. Would you like my palm in your nose? I can help you with that. Would you like this up underneath your ribs in your armpit maybe? I can help you with that too. This is actually, this hurts. If you hit somebody right up in here, it really does hurt. It does. Hi, how are you? Okay? As we split, right, in here, better stance, right? Split. Ouch! That would hurt. It would. This is a wrist and this is an elbow. And it's not connected anymore. That intent needs to be present. We don't have to think about, I'm going to do this thing, because we might do something else. It's not necessary that this one thing is the only possible application. Okay? And I need to disabuse you of that notion right now. This is an opportunity. I have an opportunity here. I can do something. I can do something with this hand. I can do something with this hand. What am I going to do? In this case, split. This could come here. It could come here. Depending on my opponent. My opponent could be a really tall person, and this is going to come into the diaphragm. Okay. There's that idea. Yeah, that idea. Right here. This twist in the middle needs to be there as well. If we ignore, and that's why I'm beating up on this, if we ignore the opportunities for application, and I'm going to emphasize this, there is no one, it must be this way all the time, every time, this is the only way to do it. That does not exist. That's somebody that's got a regimented learning curriculum and has decided that that's what they want to do. I work with opportunities. What is the situation? What is the circumstance? What do I need to do? Do I have to do anything? Maybe I don't. Maybe all I need to do is take a couple steps back. Not be there. You want to come at me? Go ahead, keep going. I'm get out of the way. I don't have to exert my energy. I don't have to use my chi. I don't have to use my effort. I just get out of the way. Not always possible. As one of my teachers, Huang Wei Lun, talked about in push hands, you're not trying to help. You're not trying to push the other person down. You want to help them do whatever it is they're going to do anyway. So, if I'm off balance, you can help me to fall down. If I can put you off balance, I can help you to fall down. If you're coming at me, I can help you to keep going. Right? I have opportunities. That opportunity depends. We practice so that we have the skills that we can apply as we choose, as we need. Not in some regimented, okay, stand here, wait, I'm going to punch you with my right fist. Just wait a minute, I got to get ready so I can punch you. Really? No. Doesn't work that way. The only time that works that way is when you're in a classroom situation and you're practicing with somebody who is trying to learn the same form. Maybe you're doing some stunts. Yeah. Okay, wait a minute. Let me get ready. All right, now I'm ready. Now we're going to go. Let's go. Huh. Right? Movie time. Let's get ready. In the real world, nobody's going to give you time to get ready. It isn't going to happen. What are you going to do? Depends on what you have practiced. Because if you need to do something, it's not going to be, wait a minute, let me think about what technique might work with this. You don't have that. Something happened, what do? Right? We're going to practice a little bit more. I'm going to give you another example, just real quick. I was walking down the street early in the morning. I was in central China. It was early in the morning. Come back from practice. 7:30, 7:45. Early. Everybody finishes practice. We started at 6 and we're done by 7:30 because everybody has to go to work. Right? So I was on my way back to where I was staying. And felt a hand on my shoulder. Not expecting anybody to put their hand on me. And I turned around. This hand was ready. This hand took the hand off of my shoulder. This hand was ready. The woman that had touched my shoulder was surprised and frightened. Wasn't my intent. I didn't intend to frighten somebody. But I didn't expect a hand on my shoulder either. That reaction was a reaction. I didn't think about it. The only thing I thought about was, there's a hand on my shoulder and I don't want it there. I don't know who this is and what they're doing to me, but they're not going to get away with it. I'm going to stop them. That was my thought. Now, I stopped once I saw, again, we're in the situation now, we're in the circumstance. Once I saw that this was a person who did not intend me any harm, I stopped. That is what should have happened what needed to have happened, and what was appropriate for the circumstance. My going any further with that person in that situation would have been wrong. What's the opportunity? Well, here. Hand on my shoulder here. Hand is not on my shoulder anymore. That's all I had to do. I didn't have to do big things. Hey, wait a minute, get ready. No. When we pay attention to the details, when we pay attention to refining our own movement, what we can discover is that those reactions become more and more appropriate and less provocative. Smaller. In this case, less is better. Right? More aggression is not better. Stop. Do I need to do anything more? If I have to, can I be ready? What am I ready to do? Part of that is your reaction skills, and part of it is how you think about what you're doing. If I had been, and I'm going to use my example again, I just hand on the shoulder, if I had been in a regimented, it must be done this way, right? I could have been taught, and it's a valid thing, I could have been taught, grab the hand, come underneath, and flip them. That person would have been seriously hurt if I had done that. I don't know if I'd been able to do it, but if I had, the person would have been seriously hurt. And she did not mean me any harm. What's appropriate? What's the situation? What's the circumstance? What's the opportunity? What can you do in that opportunity? If you have to stop and think about it, you can't do it. Seriously, you can't do it. It has to be there. Again, this is why I practice. I don't want to have to do anything. I want to build my own chi. I want that long life. I want good health. I want all of the things that come from my own practice, my own personal development. Side benefit of that, again, because it is a martial art, it's not dance. It's not wave the hands around and let's go flying. It's a martial art. There are applications that we want to pay attention to. There are opportunities to use the movements that we're learning that we want to pay attention to. They're not rigid, they're not fixed, they're not, this can be only one way. We want to look at what the circumstance is and how we might address it with the least effort possible, appropriately, not inappropriate. Okay? That restraint is part of the refinement that we want in our movements and in our philosophy that directs what we're doing. So, what am I capable of doing? What am I willing to do? What am I going to do? Those are three very distinct and very different answers if I have to answer those questions. Because most of the time what I'm going to do particularly in the arts, is not anything close to what I might be capable of doing. And I'm going to say that as a closing for this little piece that I'm talking about. I don't ever want to find out what I'm capable of. I don't. I do not ever want to be in a situation that I must find out what I'm capable of. I have a pretty good idea. I don't want to know. I don't. I really don't. And I can talk about why another time, but I don't want to find out. That push is something that I would encourage anybody who's learning, and if you're learning from me, I'm going to encourage you. You don't want to find out. You don't want to know. You don't. You don't. That part of our humanity, not something that most of us really want to find out about. Trust me on that. It's human nature, and it's part of our survival skill. How humans, animals, that self-preservation. Okay. I don't want to find out. I don't. All right. Palm changes 1 and 2 slowly. Feet together, stand straight. Salute to the center. Slowly. Palm change 1, palm change 2. Breathe. Breathe out, sink. Turn. Center. Step 1, 2, close. And come around. Step 1, 2, close. Come out. Tuck, split, up, under. And come around, back to the center. One more time. Feet together, stand straight. Salute the center. Relax the breath. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. From this side. 2 times. Feet together, stand straight. Salute to the center. Breathe in and sink. Turn. Come around. Palm change 1. And come around. Palm change 2. All right, relax. I'm going to stop here for today. We have next week 1 to 4. Okay? That's why I beat up on all this week. After that, I'm going to speed it up a little bit more. So we'll have palm changes 1 to 4 next week. Palm changes 1 to 6 the following week. And the following week, palm changes 1 through 8. I expect to spend about 2 weeks-ish on palm changes 1 to 8. And I'll be reviewing a little bit each of the palm changes as we go through. So on the pattern, review each of the palm changes just a little bit as we go through. middle of October-ish, end of October. Let's go for the end of October. I'll be looking at what we're going to do next in this time slot. Okay? I have a couple things. I've looked at Taiji, Wudang Taiji. I've also looked at Dragon Sword. One or the other. Those are the only two that I haven't done yet. So I'm looking at those. I'm also looking at the possibility of, for the remainder of this year, 2022, so it'd just be 2 months, November and December, doing a general review of some of the things that I've taught and putting some, and tying some ribbons on a few of the things so that there is a more complete understanding that I've recorded. I'm going to put it another way. More complete recording of my understanding of each of these systems. It's not comprehensive, it's just, yeah, hey, it's what's there for right now. I have some plans for next year that include a little bit more of this type of discussion, where it's a little bit more focused on the philosophy and the ideas that go behind what we're doing. Not so much the movement itself as the idea that I presented today, that we have opportunities within each of the movements. What might we do? What can we do? What might we do? What are we going to do? And the differences between them. I hope you enjoyed today's class. I'll be back tomorrow and Friday with Qigong. Tomorrow is foundation sets, and by the way, I have recordings of all of the first 9 sets, front, left side, right side, and back, so you can see from each of those directions. I appreciate that there was a question about that. I might not have gotten recorded if there hadn't been. So questions are welcome. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it.